Welcome to my channel to everyone who's new here, and of course to those of you who are back again. Great to have you here. In this video we will take a look together at possible scenarios for the price development of SUI, Avalanche, HBAR and Dogecoin. Things remain exciting, so make sure to watch until the end. And if you also want to start trading, then I can recommend you two crypto exchanges. The first one, I have a campaign ongoing, which is with Bitunix. So in the video description you'll find a referral link to Bitunix. There I also provide you a 20% discount on the fees from Bitunix, and if you deposit a certain amount of money, you're also going to get a futures bonus. That futures bonus can be used to open some trades. So if you lose, then you are not going to lose your own money, you are going to lose the futures bonus. In the video description you will also find a referral link to mexc. So if you like to trade on mexc, then I also provide you a 20% discount on the low taker fees from mexc. So let's jump into SUI. What did we say about SUI? First of all, yesterday was Nations League finals, and the soccer game or football game went a bit longer than expected. That's why I couldn't do a video. I have promised it, I know, but now you get the update. So we were hoping that we have here an inverted head and shoulders formatation. We still got a low, this one here. So this still counts as an head and shoulders formatation, an inverted one. So let me take out this. So we have also said if we break the green trend line to the upside, then we should push to $3.39. And there we should also see a bounce, means we push to the upside, we get a pullback, and afterwards this can also be an inverted head and shoulders formatation. So we have two chances getting an inverted head and shoulders formatation, and I think the market situation is a bit more clear at the moment. So we broke from the green trend line the inverted head and shoulders formatation to the upside. So I take just the length of the right shoulder, put that to the breakout point. Target $3.39. Perfect match. So if we don't sell off now and get a retest and afterwards the push to the upside, then we should get up in one straight line. If this is going to happen, then I have also drew that 2 days ago. Then we should see a pullback forming the right shoulder for the inverted head and shoulders formatation from the orange trend line. So this one here. The other one is this one. So there are two different head and shoulders formations. And if we break the $3.39 to the upside, then I think we can get a nice push up to $3.50. If we also break the $3.50 to the upside, then we would have two targets. The first target is from the falling wedge, in bright blue, which broke to the upside, which got its retest. Target $3.67. The $3.67 is also the target of the inverted head and shoulders formatation from orange, and here's the length of one shoulder. I don't want to take it down to the lower part of the left shoulder. I want to just take the length to the next support, put it then to the breakout point, target round about $3.67. I think this is going to get very realistic once we break the $3.39 to the upside. But once we get into $3.67, then it's not far away from a fair value gap. And if we break the $3.75 to the upside, then the push to the upside should happen very fast up to $3.85. Then we would have closed the fair value gap, and then we have to see if we are going to get here in that area a major pullback to the downside and afterwards a nice push to the upside. If the $3.12 breaks to the downside, then we have something different in play. because that would invalidate, in my opinion, all the bullish patterns which we have to the upside, and then we can think about prices getting down to $2.50. But for now it looks good. So if we get a pullback, that's how I would trade SUI. So I will also delete this one here. That's the price movement which I expect. So if we get a pullback into the fair value gap, the fair value gap goes from $3.27 to $3.21. I will put here, a circle, this one here. If we get into that area, then I have to check where is the green trend line. So if we get into the fair value gap right here, then I would open a long trade for SUI for the push in $3.39. If we get the push now into $3.39, get the pullback, then I think this is going to happen afterwards. If we get now the pullback without getting into the $3.39, for example like this now, then I think we will get to $3.39. Here I have to take profits because we can also get afterwards a bigger pullback, then a breakout, or we even sell off, because then we wouldn't activate the bigger head and shoulders formatation in orange, this one here, and then the bullish pattern is just standing in the chart, but it never got activated. So we have to break the $3.39 to the upside. So if I want to be a bit less risky into the market, then I would just wait for the $3.39. So my game plan is opening a long position, but a very small one, in the fair value gap. If we break the $3.39 to the upside, then I'm going to increase my position size. If we break the $3.50 to the upside, then I'm going to increase my position size again into the $3.65, where I would take profits, and I would still keep a certain amount of my trade open for the push into $3.75 to $3.85. So I hope that how I explained it was very clear to you. So we can move on to the next coin, AVAX. AVAX looks a bit different to the other coins. We have already said that in orange we have a triangle. If we break it to the upside, then we would have gone into the purple box. But we broke it to the downside, so we went into the target if we break the triangle to the downside. We went there, so I can take this one out. So it's positive that we broke the $21 to the upside once, this one here, and we got our push into our resistance box. And the resistance box was resistance perfectly. So as you can see, we just touched the purple box and we got a major pullback. So we have 3 scenarios at the moment ongoing. This can be a bearish head and shoulders formatation, which afterwards breaks to the downside. And once we break the $20 to the downside, then it's clear to me that we should see lower prices. And yes, it can even reach for prices down to $17. We already have in bright blue a breakout to the downside from the rising wedge, and we are currently in the retest right here. So if that retest is going to fail, and if the retest fails, it would be bullish. If the retest fails and we break the $21 to the upside, sustainable, means we get a nice push to the upside with a nice retest and a follow through. Then the bearish patterns would all get invalidated, in my opinion. But the first long trade which I would try is the $21.70. If we break it to the upside, then I think we have a fair value gap up to $22, and we have resistance at $22.50, and I think we should get into that area very fast. And afterwards you can already see it, we have here a fair value gap up to $25.50. And I think once we break the purple resistance area to the upside, then we can expect, hopefully, a nice push to the upside. At least to $22.50. If we also break it to the upside, then a good profitable trade is possible. So I would look closely into the $21, but if they break sustainable to the upside, then I'm still not going to trade it. I would wait for the $21.70. If the $20 breaks to the downside, then AVAX is short to me. So let's move on to the next coin, HBAR. I think we didn't get a more perfect setup than for HBAR. We have set already inverted head and shoulders formatation. Broke to the upside, got its retest. But we have said that this up move looks like a rising wedge. So if we break it to the downside, which we did, then we should see the 16.65 cents getting in play, because that's the target of the rising wedge. But we are not going to trade it, since a very sharp one and a small one. We are just using this as orientation. And the target of that rising wedge got hit right here. And what was it? A retest of the inverted head and shoulders formatation. So let me take out this chart pattern. It worked even though we didn't trade it. We use it as orientation because the retest is always our entry for long or short positions. In this case, long position. So we take the length of one shoulder, put it then not to the breakout point anymore, we put it to the retest point. Target was the 17.1 cents. We hit that target. If we take it to the breakout point, then you can see we didn't hit the target yet. That's why I always like to put it to the retest point. Yeah, this gets hit very often. We can take this one out. It worked. This one too. So, what now? I think that we have built up a double top pattern. If this double top pattern breaks to the downside at 16.77 cents, and here I will also put you the price mark on the chart. If we break it to the downside, then the target is going to be of that pattern, the 16.28 cents. But I think 16.35 cents are good support, so it might be even possible that we never reach the price mark of 16.3 cents. And we also have support at 16.5 cents. Here's also the price mark. So how would I trade HBAR? If I see a push to the downside with a breakout, support at 16.6 cents, and we get a push to the upside and we don't have fair value gaps over us, then I would jump into a short trade here for the push to the upside, to the downside. 16.3 cents is going to be my take profit. If we also break it to the downside, next target 16 cents. So since all the coins are so bullish, it might be also possible, and the chances are very high for that, that we even invalidate that pattern before getting it activated. What do I mean with this? So we have a green trend line on the chart. I don't want to have this trend line green anymore, because it was green when we were here somewhere here in this market stage. So if we would have broke that to the upside before the cross, which you can see here, then I would have used this as a long trend line. Since the horizontal resistance at 17 point, this is not perfect, now it is 17.4 cents, then I would be in a long position for HBAR. So if we break the 17.4 cents to the upside, then I think we have the way free to 18 cents. The 18 cents are going to be the worst resistance which we have. But once we break it to the upside, it's going to be our best support. And then we can be happy for a nice push to the upside, because if we go into the 8-hour chart, then you can already see it. Here is the 18 cents. We went into the 18 cents. Look what kind of push we got. we went here into the 18 cents. Look what kind of push we got. We still sold off afterwards into the 18 cents again, and we got a push afterwards. Here same. We wicked into the 18 cents. We got this push to the upside. Here again, we wicked into the 18 cents. We got this push to the upside. So basically, once we break the 18 cents to the upside, it would be positive, because if we get rejected there, then you can already see it. We come from the downside to the upside. 18 cents. We sold off. 18 cents. Sold off. So, if I can do the 18 cents more green, then I would do it. Yeah, we have a few green trend lines on the chart, but this here is the most important one, breaking to the upside. Afterwards, I can say we can be very happy for a nice push to the upside with a very high chance for HBAR. So, we still have the target ongoing from the triangle, now from the bearish pennant, which is also a triangle, in dark blue, broke it to the downside, got our retest. Target didn't got hit 100%, 15.27 cents, but we have here our circle. Because we don't have to hit the target 100%, that's why I prefer to take profits earlier. And we have already took profits for HBAR for our short trade, which we have taken far earlier. We also went into a long position right here for a swing long trade for this push to the upside. So everything went well so far with HBAR, and you can already see it. We already have predicted this price movement perfectly. So let's see if we can predict the next one as well that good. So 16.7 cents, very important to hold, but I think more important are the 16.35 cents. That's why I will make this trend line red. If we lose that support sustainable, then we should maybe drop even down to 15.4 cents. The chances get higher then, but I doubt it. I think we will break to the upside. So, what about Dogecoin? Dogecoin is also a bit more bullish. We also had here a rising wedge on the chart, which broke to the downside, but we are currently consolidating within a bull flag. So we have a bearish chart pattern, which broke to the downside, which got its retest, but afterwards it's consolidating within a bull flag. So if the bull flag breaks to the upside, which is currently the price mark of 18.74 cents, then we can expect a push up to 19 cents. And once we break the 19 cents to the upside, then I would say Dogecoin is long into the 20 cents. If we also break it, 21 cents up to 21 cents and 42, because there is a fair value gap. So if the 17.9 cents breaks to the downside, then we would lose the bull flag and should go straight into the 17.45 cents. Why? Because that's the target of the rising wedge, which already broke to the downside, which got its retest, which didn't get invalidated. And yes, we put the target to the retest point, but the price here is far higher. And you can already see it, it perfectly matches with the 17.5 cents. So I can also imagine that we first break to the downside and from here push to the upside. If we are at 17.5 cents, then I also have to warn you about a smaller fair value gap, which reaches prices down to 70.26 cents. So we can also wick in the short term lower than that and get bought up very fast. So this is my game plan for SUI, AVAX, HBAR and Dogecoin. In the next update I'm talking about Render, Tau, Kaspa and ONDO. If you think that this is going to be interesting for you, then feel free to watch the next update. See you then.